This is part 2 of the story of Batarang Bill. If you want to see the first part, then check out my previous video here on Batarang to the Butt. I will be releasing a supercut of both parts together also, so if you want to wait for that, then like the page and stay tuned. So the last time we saw these characters, Odin had just pitted them against each other in a battle to the death. The victor would become the sole owner of Mjolnir, the enchanted hammer. So, here we go. Thor arrives in Skartheim, a burnt landscape with aggressive rivers flowing through it. Thor takes it all in, but notes that he cannot see his opponent. But he isn't given long before the ground itself seems to erupt beneath his feet. Batarang Bill also takes this opportunity to reveal himself as he tackles Thor. The warriors tumble off a cliff as the landscape continues to crumble around them. They crash into the ground, but Thor is quick to throw Bill off. However, it doesn't take long for Bill to recover and bounce straight back in with another attack. Even in the midst of their battle, Bill explains that he doesn't want to do this, but Thor's own father has commanded it, so Odin's will be done. As the two continue to fight ferociously, Thor's internal monologue reveals his respect for Bill. He believes Bill to be a worthy and noble opponent. But this isn't an admission of defeat. Skartheim becomes a tool for them both to use. Rocks and boulders fly. Thor knocks Bill towards a river of lava. But luckily Bill lands on a rock platform, narrowly missing his doom. Thor jumps down to finish the job, but Bill has once again recovered. The two have one last mighty clash, completely draining them both of all of their energy. The two collapse onto the platform, exhausted. But they aren't safe yet. The platform is being pulled along in the tide of the magma river. Not far up ahead is a sheer cliff face. Bill regains consciousness just in time to notice the falls. He makes the quick decision that Thor is too brave to perish so meanly. And despite the pain and despite the exhaustion, he lifts the limp body of Thor and leaps to safety. As he lands, he is transported back to Asgard. The battle is over. Batarang Bill arrives back to an expectant crowd. He carries the body of Thor, who is still alive but clearly defeated. Bill proclaims to Odin that the hammer is now his. And now the story continues in issue 339. Bill arrives before the stunned Asgardian crowd, but quickly collapses, and for a moment there is silence. Then Odin demands his guards to bring the warriors to the royal physicians. Although both warriors are worn out, they will not perish this day, and so the two warriors are rushed off to receive medical help. Time has passed and Odin is visiting Bill during his recovery. Bill is honoured and grateful that Odin helped him, but he is torn. He has won the hammer and he knows how much it will help his people if he were able to wield it in battle, but he has had time to think about his circumstances. The hammer was made for Thor. If he were to take it, then what's to stop someone coming and defeating Bill to then take it from him? And technically, he didn't even follow the rules of the battle, because he couldn't bring himself to slay Thor. He asks Odin, can anything be done? Odin believes that Bill has proven himself as able to wield great power wisely, and so he promises a gift. He doesn't reveal what it is yet, but promises that it will help save Bill's people. And with that, he sets off, travelling from Asgard to Nidavellir, the realm of the dwarfs. He requires their skills to help create this gift. So he speaks with Eitri, an old acquaintance. The dwarfs agree to help, but they ask of something in return. They want Odin to send his finest female warrior to face off against one of their own. If she were to lose the fight, she would have to stay as their champion's servant. And there is a whole subplot here, but to make a long story short, Lady Sif defeats the dwarf champion. Turns out he wasn't an elected champion, but rather something more of a bully dictator, so when he is beaten up and defeated, the rest of the dwarfs are actually pretty happy. Then they proceed with their end of the bargain. Odin and Sif return to Asgard, where Thor and Bill have been resting and healing. They have both been getting to know each other, and Thor has been a good sport about his defeat. Upon her return, Sif speaks with Bill. He worries for his people because he has been apart from them for too long. But Lady Sif reassures him that Odin has been watching over them. She asks if he plans to settle down with them once they find a safe haven. But Bill does not believe that he can. When he was remade as a warrior, he traded in his humanity. He believes that he would no longer be accepted by the Corbinites. Later, Odin takes Thor, Batarang Bill, and Lady Sif to the furnaces of Nidavellir. Under Odin's careful watch, the dwarfs begin their process. They only have enough materials for one go at this, but they are perfect craftsmen. The molten Uru metal, thunders into the mould. Eitri suddenly calls out to Odin. It is time for the enchantment. Odin warns the others to stay back, then uses the full force of his powers to lock the magical enchantment into this new creation. Then it is time for Bill to seize his new weapon from the molten pool. Eitri promises that the magic will protect him, so Bill reaches in and pulls it out. Immediately, he feels an amazing rush of power. He raises his new hammer into the air triumphantly. With this, Odin states that the process is complete. Now, this new hammer, and the responsibility that comes with it, is Bill's to carry forever. It is given the name Stormbreaker. Meanwhile, Thor has Mjolnir returned to him. Odin has grown weary from all his spent efforts, and so must return to Asgard, but he shares a vision of the Corbinites before he goes. He says that the demons have been growing more powerful, but without Bill's new powers, he would never have been able to have taken them on. So now, he must make haste. But Bill will not be alone this time. Thor offers his help and summons Tooth Gnasher and Tooth Grinder as a form of transport. They're Thor's magical goats. Yeah, just go with it. Before they head off, Lady Sif insists on joining also. So together the three warriors head off to fight the demons and save the Corbinites. In the next issue, the trio thunder into a battle. The demons are ravaging a Corbinite ship. And our heroes were too late to save this particular ship, but they swear that they will avenge it, and they quickly dispose of the attacking creatures. Lady Sif leaps from the chariot and proceeds to ravage the swarm. She commands the other two to head off and find the source of the attack. Thor and Bill are hesitant, but they know it is the right move. And Sif is a badass, so they know she can fight on her own. Tooth Gnasher and Tooth Grinder gallop onwards, racing on lightning. They thunder past the stars, tracking the demon wave that seems to flow endlessly past them. At last, they reach the galaxy's core, Bill's old homeworld. The creatures appear to be coming from a giant portal, and so the demon swarm is heaviest here. Our heroes are immediately surrounded and attacked, but these warriors will not be defeated so easily. Meanwhile, Sif has been hacking and slashing demons left, right and centre. Suddenly she is joined by an unlikely ally. Bill's ship, the Scuttlebutt, has returned. Her repairs are complete and she's ready for action, which in this case means assisting Sif in fighting off demons. Together the duo attempts to lead the demons away from the fleet. Meanwhile, back at the galactic core, Thor and Bill are struggling to force their way through to the portal. But Thor has a plan. They split up. Bill leaps off the chariot at one side of the portal and Thor leaps off at the other. Then, the two warriors simultaneously throw their enchanted hammers at the centre of the portal. The weapons soar swiftly towards their target, and it releases an epic explosion upon impact. Meanwhile, back with Lady Sif and Scuttlebutt, their endless battle rages on, and things are beginning to look bleak. The Scuttlebutt has calculated that her best course of action is for the ship to initiate its self-destruct sequence, and take out as many demons as possible with the explosion. But, just as she is about to be overwhelmed, Lady Sif realises that the demons are all disappearing. She falls to her knees, exhausted. But it was worth it because they are victorious. Together, Lady Sif and the Scuttlebutt protected the Corbinites, while Thor and Bill defeated the enemies. The squad arrives back to Asgard and receive a hero's welcome. Everything is well, but Bill now faces the reality of not being needed by his people. And as he had previously revealed, he believes that he wouldn't be accepted by them anyway, thanks to his ferocious appearance. Meanwhile, Lady Sif discusses Bill with Odin. She reveals further backstory for Bill. He was chosen as the champion of his people because he won the right over thousands of others. He was put through many trials. Often the other contenders died or were driven mad through the extreme physical and psychological testing. Bill was made through unimaginable pain. This gives Odin an idea, so before Bill leaves Asgard he is given one last gift. Odin takes an enchantment from Mjolnir and gives it to Stormbreaker. It is the ability for Bill to disguise himself as a regular Corbinite, with a cane. And of course when he taps the cane, he becomes powered up, returns to his beastly form, and the cane reveals itself to be Stormbreaker. It is a sweet moment and Bill is very grateful. He leaves as a friend and ally of the Asgardians. And that is the story of Batarang Bill. If you like this story, he has many more adventures that you can check out. I will make some recommendations in the comments below, but please support your local comic store. And hey, if you like this video, then support me too by liking the video and liking the page.